Customers all caught on camera here. They were attacking a Georgia restaurant owner over their order. Boy, oh boy. I'm just tired of seeing this stuff, right? The owner's 15-year-old daughter attempts to intervene here. You can see that, right? She's also punched in the face. The owner says this whole thing started because the customers were claiming that their chicken was cold and there were not enough French fries.
One of my employees started shouting, "He's got her, he's got her." And that's when I found out that he had hit her. Who does that to a child? Who turns around and hits her like he would a grown man? He needs putting up under the jail.
Yeah, hard to argue that point. Police right now still searching for the man and a woman involved here. They both face felony warrants for their arrests.
That's awful. Video to watch.
The Action News Jax newsroom, a couple caught on camera beating up a mother and teenage daughter over cold chicken has been sentenced. This is new video of Nathaniel and Latasha Smith in court today in the last hour. Nathaniel was sentenced to at least 8 years, while Latasha was given 2 years. While in court, both suspects claimed the attack started because a drive-through window was closed on their arm. New at 5, Action News Jax Caitlin Channa is live outside the courthouse in Camden County, where she spoke to the victims.
And Bridget, when the victims were speaking on the stand, they were quite emotional as they were facing their attackers. Now, it all took place in this courtroom, and about less than an hour ago, we were able to leave and speak to the family. But while they were on the stand, tissues were readily available as tears streamed down their faces. And there were some very long, deep pauses in an effort so they could be able to catch their breath. Now, police say Nathaniel and Latasha Smith attacked business owner Jeanette Norris and her 15-year-old daughter after the couple ordered 2 chicken meals. Both victims said they don't understand why this attack even happened. They said the physical wounds have healed, but the emotional pain will forever live on in their hearts. Now, there is surveillance video that was able to capture what took place, and at one point, Norris's 15-year-old daughter got punched when she actually tried to intervene and was getting out of the truck. She was punched in the face by the male suspect, and this is what the mom had to say on the stand.
The two of you took away the trust I have in people. Not everybody, but I do look at everything differently now.
One of the suspects was able to take the stand today, and she paints a very different picture of what the victims had to say. All new at 6, I'll tell you why she's making the claim that it was the owner that provoked her to act that way. Reporting live in Georgia, Caitlin Channa, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
Story covering right now. Police say a woman was killed outside of a bank in Northwest Charlotte, and the suspect is still out there. Queen City News reporter Matt Stell was there on the scene and has what police are now saying what happened.
Well, it appears this Bank of America branch in Northwest Charlotte near Mount Holly Huntersville Road will be closed for the rest of the day after a deadly shooting in the bank's parking lot.
Officers did arrive on scene and did locate a female victim suffering from apparent gunshot wounds.
CMPD says the shooting happened in broad daylight just after 10:30 Friday morning in the parking lot of this Bank of America branch on Collarbridge Court.
CFD and medic did arrive on scene and did try to perform life-saving measures.
But police tell us the woman died from her injuries. Now, it's still unclear if she was in line for the bank's ATM and if this was an attempted robbery of some sort. CMPD says they don't believe the shooting was targeted, though.
We do believe this is an isolated incident at this time.
But a suspect is still not in custody.
But we do not believe there's any more public harm at this particular point. The biggest thing we ask for people is to be vigilant and always pay attention to their surroundings. The biggest thing is see something, say something.
Meanwhile, we reached out to Bank of America, who tells us they're fully cooperating with law enforcement. And as of now, we're still waiting for CMPD to identify that woman
We
who
have an
was killed.
update to that breaking news we brought you at the top of the hour. Charlotte police tell us a woman was shot and killed in a busy northwest Charlotte parking lot. This is all happening on Calabridge Court. That's off Mount Holly Huntersville Road and Brookshire Boulevard. Police have been on the scene for at least an hour now. You can see multiple squad cars on the scene. Police say they found the victim in the back parking lot of the Bank of America. No one is in custody right now, but investigators are looking for video evidence. They say there is no threat to the public at this time.
Right now at 5, we start with breaking news. We have a homicide investigation underway in Northwest Charlotte tonight. I'm Colin Mayfield.
And I'm Vanessa Rufus. We appreciate you being with us here after the opening ceremony of the Olympics. Authorities telling us tonight a woman was shot and killed outside of a Bank of America branch off Calabridge Lane near the intersection with Brookshire Boulevard. WCNC Charlotte's Julie Kay is joining us live right now. You're learning some new information. What can you tell us tonight, Julie?
Yeah, that's right. In the last 30 minutes, CMPD confirming to us that they have arrested a suspect after a SWAT situation in a neighborhood off Red Robin Street. Now, here at Bank of America, this is where they found the woman killed. And we also, in the last hour, got that incident report where we learned the name of that victim, 50-year-old woman, Ina Lang. So I want to show you some video from earlier today. Of course, the scene is cleared now, but this is what it looked like earlier after the initial call around 10:30 this morning. When police arrived, they found that woman with multiple gunshot wounds here in the parking lot. Medic pronounced her dead shortly after that. Then after that, in a neighborhood off Red Robin Street, as I mentioned, shortly after, that's where the SWAT situation happened. So that's where we went next when we learned of this. At the time, we did not know that those were connected. We just found this out in the last, as I mentioned, 30 minutes or so, but it was a very, very busy scene with parents having a hard time getting into their neighborhood after their kids were dropped off by the school bus. This was around 3 p.m. Now, the patrol major described this homicide as isolated. While the victim was found near the ATM drive-thru, CMPD tells us it's not clear if there was a robbery element to this motive.
Right now, don't want to speculate on that this particular time. As you can see, our men and women are working very hard and diligent behind us, so trying to piece together the pieces. Once we get that information, we'll make sure that we'll get that out to you in the community.
Yeah, so still a lot of questions here remain tonight, but as I mentioned, the Bank of America is back open and all the scenes are clear.
Now 6 disturbing and brutal new details about what led to the arrest of these two people now charged with the murder of an elderly Brownsburg woman. Court documents we just received today paint a gruesome picture. RTV6's Amanda Starantino has been poring over those documents and joins us now with this developing story.
Erica, in these new court documents, we learned what police say went on inside this home the first weekend in January. Now, these reveal that 74-year-old Alice Wright, a mother and grandmother, was stabbed multiple times.
Only RTV6 was there when Brownsburg police arrested 18-year-old Keisha Summerhill and 19-year-old Arian Crutherd Friday evening. Both are now charged with murder in the death of Alice Wright. Police say Summerhill and Crutherd went to the Brownsburg home in the 800th block of Stone Edge Drive, where they stole money and items from the elderly couple's home. Police say Summerhill was a former caretaker for the woman's wheelchair-bound husband. He was found laying on the floor but not severely injured in this attack. These court documents reveal new details. Someone whose identity is remaining unknown says she has known Summerhill for 2 years and told police Summerhill and Crutherd told her how they murdered Alice Wright. She claims Summerhill's boyfriend, Arian Crutherd, says he is a gangster disciple. The couple told her they went inside the Wrights' home without knocking and did not have to force entry because Summerhill knew they kept the door unlocked. She says Summerhill said the husband, Kearney Wright, was kept alive because Summerhill knew that he would not be able to identify them because of his dementia. However, Summerhill did order her boyfriend to kill Alice because she did recognize them. According to the woman, Crutherd claims Alice Wright begged for her life and was losing consciousness as he used a kitchen knife to cut and stab her in her neck and head. The autopsy revealed she was stabbed 13 times and suffered 16 other cuts, along with the partial amputation of a finger.
Gruesome details there, and according to the court documents, the woman who shared the suspect's story with police say the couple claimed they took $1,500 in cash and 2 guns from that home. Summerhill and Crutherd made their first court appearance today in Hendricks County and remain behind bars tonight without bond. Erica, back to you.
Well, new at 6, a cheap shot during a Fitchburg State basketball game could cost the player his spot on the team. You can see there, he hit the opposing player so hard that he dropped right down to the ground.
Yeah, Fitchburg State's investigating, and this may not be the end of it. WBZ's Ken McLeod is live in Fitchburg tonight with a story a lot of people are weighing in on, Ken.
Yeah, Lisa, when a video like this goes viral, it does not do much for your school name. Now, Fitchburg State was quick to act today, but the visual evidence is pretty disturbing. There are not many folks on campus who haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's absolutely terrible. Glad he's out.
He's talking about last night's basketball game here, where Fitchburg's Kewan Platt flattens Nate Tenaglia of Nichols with a seemingly unprovoked forearm to the face just a second after the victim sinks a late three-pointer in a Nichols win.
You should never be doing that in basketball. That's definitely like a bad name for Fitchburg.
Indeed, despite Platt's quick glance to see if the nearby referee is looking, the other ref saw it and kicked him out of the game. And today, Fitchburg State went a step further, saying the school was appalled by the conduct displayed and that Platt had been indefinitely suspended from the team and barred from campus.
It's definitely severe, but also what he did was severe.
Fans at the game say Platt was upset that Tenaglia wasn't called for a foul on this play moments earlier when Platt's three-pointer missed badly. While fellow students don't condone the forearm shiver, some do understand it.
I mean, in sports that happens. There's always ups and downs. People get frustrated.
We've seen it in football and hockey and things like that from high schools and other sports teams, so I don't know.
Though Tenaglia goes down hard, he was not seriously hurt. In fact, he played the rest of the game as his team won. Some Fitchburg students hope the ugly incident doesn't stain their school.
It has no home here at this campus, and it has no home, no one anywhere else. I mean, let me put it this way, like, it's a game.
We're told that campus police are looking into the incident. Now, the league Fitchburg plays in recently awarded Kewan Platt Player of the Week honors. Today, they rescinded that award.
A Mobile man convicted of killing a Mobile police officer more than 30 years ago is set to be executed next week. But lawyers for Vernon Madison were busy this week trying to block the execution. News 5's Bill Riles has this update.
On Tuesday, Mobile Circuit Court Judge Robert Smith denied a motion for a stay of execution for Vernon Madison. Madison has been on death row for 32 years in the 1985 killing of Mobile Police Corporal Julius Schulte. Lawyers from the equal justice system have been representing Madison and argued in appeals that his dementia and health issues make his execution unconstitutional. They were successful in getting a stay of execution just before Madison's execution date in May of 2016. Finally, in November of last year, the case landed in front of the U.S. Supreme Court, which denied the stay and cleared the way for Madison's execution. So lawyers this week went back to Mobile Circuit Court to start the ball rolling on last-ditch appeals. Madison is scheduled to be executed at Holman Prison in Atmore next Thursday, January 25th. Madison is among the 182 death row inmates in Alabama. 5 of those inmates are women, and 19 death row inmates are from Mobile, Baldwin, Conecuh, and Washington counties in the News 5 viewing area.
I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to give him that satisfaction of him winning, so I just fought and it worked. I had bruises and cuts because he was dragging me.
Tonight, a woman was recounting the moments she fought for her life after she was kidnapped and raped while taking out the trash.
Her alleged attacker facing a judge today, and Local 10's Cody Weddle has the story of survival from Miami.
An incredible story here of a woman who just would not give up. She says she fought, she screamed as this man attacked her, and she eventually made it away and flagged down a police officer. Taylor Seed says she noticed 24-year-old Mike Jack the night before.
His face stuck out. It's like his eyes are just very, like, I don't know how to explain it.
Lurking around the apartment complex where she was staying in an Airbnb. She says he showed up again when she arrived early Monday morning after a night of partying.
He grabbed me from behind and tried to push me inside, and I was able to shut and lock the door, and from there I was just fighting him off. He was trying to pull it.
She managed to close the apartment door before he could push her inside, she says. He then allegedly violently grabbed her by the hair, dragging her to the next door parking lot as she screamed for help.
I have bruises and cuts because he was dragging me, because my pants were coming off as he was dragging me, so it was basically just skin to concrete.
Seeds kept fighting and managed to get away and flag down a police officer.
I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to give him that satisfaction of him winning, so I just fought and it worked.
Miami police say surveillance footage corroborates her account. Through that video, police tracking Jack's vehicle.
They conducted a traffic stop and they were able to place him under arrest after the victim positively identified him.
Mike Jacques.
He's now facing 4 felony charges as police ask any other possible victims to come forward.
That he gets what he deserves, and they treat him how he deserves to be treated in jail.
Be very mindful, be very careful and vigilant to your surroundings, because unfortunately we have people in the community that are out targeting innocent people.
Jack is being held on no bond on that kidnapping charge. Miami police are saying that so far he is denying these allegations. If you have any information that could be useful to Miami police in this investigation, you can call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers. That number is 305-471-TIPS. We're live in Miami tonight. I'm Cody Weddle, Local 10 News.
The Davie County Sheriff's Office is looking for Anthony LaQuaine Brooks. They did send us a previous mugshot of him earlier, so we want to pull that up for you to give you a look at who they're looking for. They want you to be on the lookout for him as well. He is 31 years old, and the Davie County Sheriff's Office says that they believe he shot and killed 2 people with a handgun last night at a home on Junction Road in Moxville. So Brooks is now wanted for 2 counts of homicide. Police say they are no longer actively searching that area for him. They don't believe he is still there, and we did not see any investigators when we went out to that house today on Junction Road. Here's what area looked like. The sheriff's office says a woman called 911 from there just before 10:30 last night, saying someone was shooting at her. The dispatcher then reported hearing a loud disturbance, and then no one responded after that. When deputies arrived, they say they found 29-year-old Justin Dwayne Goodman dead in the front yard and 23-year-old Savannah Lynn Anglin dead inside the home. The deputies also found 2 young kids inside, thankfully unharmed. They are now with social services, but again, the sheriff's office is looking for Brooks this evening, and they say that he frequents the Cooley areas as well as Salisbury and Rowan County. They also say he should be considered armed and dangerous, so if you do see him, contact the sheriff's office right away, and they also ask that you contact them if you have any information into this murder investigation. Live this evening in Moxville, Jackie Pascal, WXII 12 News.
A special needs man is dead, and police say he was targeted by local teens. It's new information about a story we've been following closely online and on air since Tuesday. Action News' Michael Yoshida is live in St. Johns County. And Michael, police say this man was just minding his own business at the store, and these teens followed him home.
Letitia, police say that these teens targeted Carl Stark, and as a result, they allegedly followed him on his way home, past these gates at his apartment complex, and then murdered him. Now, this is a murder that has shocked this community and left his family heartbroken.
Our beloved Carl was taken from us too soon.
Carly Durden talking about her brother Carl Stark. The 36-year-old was murdered Tuesday night inside the Vista Cove condos.
We want everyone to know that he never had an enemy and had the purest heart.
Durden says her brother lived with autism and was loved by everyone. Police say he was on his way home from the store to see his mother. That's when he was followed by a group of teenagers who wanted to steal his car.
The loss our family has suffered doesn't make sense. It is something that you never expect to happen, and no one can prepare you for.
17-year-old Kevin Williams and 16-year-old Christopher O'Neill have been arrested and charged with murder. Police say there are also 3 other persons of interest. One of those is in the hospital after a car chase on Wednesday. and O'Neill were arrested after that chase ended with a manhunt through these woods.
We're able to apprehend them without incident, essentially. They were kind of wore out and tired. You could tell they'd been running through the woods.
Now, the 2 teens are behind bars, and police say more charges and arrests could happen, all part of an effort to bring closure to the family of Carl Stark. And today, the St. Johns County Sheriff spoke about a string of recent violent crimes involving teens and other people from outside the county. You'll hear from him all new at 6.
Well, at this hour, Baltimore County Police are still looking for two teens wanted in a vicious assault and a carjacking, running the victim over with his own car. Now, police have arrested 4 suspects, charging 3 of them as adults. Jonathan McCall is here with more on the attack and the victim's long road to recovery. Jonathan?
Well, Denise, police aren't saying how they connected the dots, but today we learned that a Comcast worker actually caught the entire incident on video. Tonight, that victim in this carjacking is still recovering as shock trauma, but will be moved to another facility where he's set to undergo yet 6 more months of rehab for a broken pelvis. A quiet January morning on this Overly Street.
My husband was innocent. It shouldn't have happened.
Shattered by a violent attack.
I got a knock on my door that my husband had been carjacked and assaulted.
Last Wednesday morning, Baltimore County Police say 6 teens viciously carjacked, assaulted, and ran over 69-year-old Jim Willingham.
I come running out, and he's laying over there on the corner of the sidewalk.
His wife didn't want her face to be shown, but did want her story told of how Jim went outside to grab something out of their car when the group attacked him. She says Jim suffered bruises on his back as well as other injuries. The most serious, a broken pelvis, when she says the teens pulled Jim out of the car, threw him on the ground, and then used his car to run him over.
It's going to be a slow-going process. My husband's not able to walk right now. He's got skin abrasions all up and back of his leg. He's still got some slight internal bleeding.
Neighbors call the attack senseless and say they're now on guard.
It's crazy. 15 and 16-year-olds are supposed to be in school on a Wednesday at 10:30 in the morning.
WJZ has learned that a Comcast worker recorded the entire incident and turned the video over to investigators. WJZ first told you Monday when Baltimore County Police arrested 4 teens in the case.
They're violent offenders. Even though they're juveniles, they're violent offenders, and they needed to be caught and taken off the street.
Baltimore County Police say when they found the car connected to this case, they also found 2 other cars reported stolen as well. Even with the arrest, this Overly neighborhood still remains on edge as police continue searching for 2 more suspects in the case.
Everybody's scared.
Jim's wife tells us that he will be at shock trauma for 10 more days before being moved to another facility to start rehab. A GoFundMe page has now been set up. You can find details on it right now at WJZ.com. In the studio tonight, I'm Jonathan McCall reporting for WJZ.
Terrible. Thank you, Jonathan. 3 of the teenagers in custody are charged as adults. 1 of them is facing attempted murder charges. The other's facing assault and carjacking.
The fate of an American couple missing at sea in the Caribbean appears grim. Police in Grenada believe Ralph Hendry and Kathy Brandel were thrown overboard and died after their boat was hijacked last week by 3 escaped prisoners. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides is tracking the latest developments for us this morning. Christian, what's the latest on the search?
Vlad, good morning. Well, officials in Grenada yesterday had said that they believe that the couple is presumed dead, but that they have not stopped searching for them. No bodies have been found. The family says that they're holding out hope, but the catamaran that they were in was found, and it was found with signs of a struggle, and there was also blood inside. Now, here's the timeline. Back on February 18th, that's last Sunday, is the last time that the couple was seen alive. On that very same day, 3 prisoners escaped from a local jail. Now, fast forward 3 days later, and on the 21st is when the catamaran is found 80 miles away in St. Vincent. And that's also where these 3 prisoners are recaptured. So what officials believe is that at some point they hijacked the catamaran, and during that 80-mile journey, the bodies were dumped into the water. But again, I have to stress here that officials say that they are still searching for them, they're holding on to hope, but that they are presumed dead at this point.
Christian, I want to ask about the suspects in this case. We know that they've now been apprehended, but what more can you tell us about them?
Chanel, we've got 3 suspects here ranging in age from 19 to 30. They were originally imprisoned for a violent robbery case and somehow escaped from the local jail. It's unclear if they are currently facing any charges in connection to this case, but officials do believe that they had clearly something to do with this, particularly given that the catamaran that the couple was initially in was first at the spot where the prisoners escaped And then 3 days later in St. Vincent, 80 miles away, the prisoners are caught, and the catamaran is there, again, with signs of a struggle and full of blood. So certainly a lot of concern here. They had left the couple from Virginia with a sailing group that was with them, and in fact were reported missing on February 18th, that same day that they were last seen alive.
So what about Americans who are hoping to travel to Grenada? Should they be worried?
Currently, no travel warnings are in place. The State Department says that Americans that are traveling there should just take regular precautions, the same precautions that they would take traveling anywhere, really. A level 1 advisory, which is the lowest level of advisory, really just precautions. Now, I should note here, family members and friends have said that this was a lifelong dream of theirs, to sail through the Caribbean in the winter. And Kathy had actually just welcomed her first grandchild last year, and the couple was really looking forward to spending time together this year.
Just a horrible story. Christian, thanks so much for the update. We appreciate
Treasure
that.
Coast woman keeping hope alive after she says her brother and sister-in-law vanished off their yacht in Grenada in the Caribbean.
The story is now making international headlines tonight after police there say 3 escaped inmates may be connected to their disappearance. Only on 5 tonight, WPTV News Channel 5's Stephanie Susskind spoke with the woman and shares her story of hope.
This is where Ralph Hendry and his wife Kathy would spend every winter with their boat docked in Fort Pierce, enjoying time with friends and family. But they skipped the visit this season because of a trip of a lifetime to Grenada, one that's ending very unexpectedly.
These are who we're trying to find desperately.
Riding waves of emotion, Sue Ellen Damaris is trying to figure out what happened to her brother and sister-in-law while they are vacationing in Grenada on their catamaran yacht named Simplicity.
So this was their whole life. They didn't own another home. They didn't own cars. They owned Simplicity. They loved and took care of Simplicity. And when you were invited onto Simplicity, you were made to feel as magical as they were and as magical as that boat was.
They left for the island nation back in November, a trip in the works for 12 years.
What happened in Grenada was a perfect storm. It was a perfect tragedy of a perfect storm of a perfect love story.
The Royal Grenada Police Force now says 3 violent criminals escaped from a Grenada jail on Sunday. They were recaptured on the nearby island nation of St. Vincent on Wednesday. Investigators believe the men arrived on a yacht taken from Grenada, and the 2 Americans on the yacht may have been killed in the process. Sue Ellen says that yacht was Simplicity. Do you think they could still be alive?
I do. Yes, I do.
Friends and family have been networking with the boating community, trying to find the pieces to this puzzle. Official information has been hard to come by.
This tragedy that's happened, it's not just losing Ralph and Kathy, it's losing a way of life, it's losing our center. They were our whole center.
And while she won't give up hope, Sue Ellen does hope there's a bigger purpose behind this horrific nightmare she's been living.
There's got to be a reason for this, so maybe being here, we're saving somebody else. What if Ralph's boat hadn't been there that day? What if he hadn't gone into town? Would it have been the next boat over?
A State Department spokesperson says that U.S. authorities are coordinating with local law enforcement on this incident. Reporting in Fort Pierce, Stephanie Susskind, WPTV News Channel 5.